mushrooms and the funguses are at the bottom of the food chain. They're breaking down organic material, recycling it back into the nutrients of the soil, and making those nutrients available to other plants. They're critical in this realm of food chain and decomposition and recirculation of energy. It's really what it finally is. It's the recirculation of energy within a closed symbiotic ecological system. So long it's been touted how damaging the funguses are, something like 55 oak root funguses that affect just the Quercus agrifolia tree. But usually it comes down to management practices, root damage, inappropriate irrigation, wounds that the tree can't heal. Those are the sources of the injury, making the tree vulnerable to decay organisms like mushrooms. This was pulled off the forest floor of just leaf mulch. Of course, it's just been rained on. It feels like snail mucus, the texture. It's very slippery. Considerable weight. A little bit of the root system here in the duff. You can see the stalk, fairly substantial stalk. This has just been picked the day before yesterday, and it's sticky and slippery. Now we've got some mushrooms we want to show you that are right off the trunk of an oak, about 2 feet from the root crown flare, coming out of the side of the trunk. And they're quite large. We've got a whole hoard here. I'm going to say 10 pounds of mushrooms here. And they all emerged very quickly on the side of the trunk of Quercus agrifolia. We've removed them all from the tree and treated the wound site with our extract of orange rind oil. You can see the thickness of that stalk. It's almost as big as a person's wrist. That's a big stalk there. And of course we see our head on there. You can see it is also in this form of clusters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stalks from this one attach point to the side of the trunk. Look at the size of that mushroom. This emerged in just a matter of a few days. This came out of the trunk of this Quercus agrifolia. It's about a 3.5 foot diameter trunk, and these fungal blooms all occurred very, very rapidly. Let's see if we can just open this up for your inspection there. And of course they smell just like regular mushrooms, just like something you'd get from the market. But again, no one would dare consume these. Oh yeah, look at that. We're finding an organism that looks very, very much like a borer, right down the center of the main stem of the mushroom. It is possible, and I wonder if it is somehow related to the emergence of that mushroom. Did that borer gallery create the access for mushroom spores to take hold and establish themselves on the main stem of that trunk of that oak tree? The mushrooms and the funguses are going to places where decay is the next process, especially in an area where there's been root damage or bark damage, bark loss. These guys can get a foothold. And especially if you add to that the presence of water. If there's timed irrigation coming on, re-wetting and re-wetting again and again the site, it sets up the decomposition cycle where decay can get a foothold. These funguses and molds break down organic material and return it to the soil. It is believed that by the time the fungal blooms occur on the surface, the mycelium has already reached the core of the tree. This is really deeply established into the tree's core. But by a process of suppression, we hope to slow down fungal blooms and therefore fungal decay, hopefully. But we do routinely remove mushrooms from trees when we see the decomposition action underway. We want to protect that tree, prolong that tree's life. We'll remove the fungal blooms, we'll apply our extract of orange rind oil to the site, hoping to suppress the reemergence of the mushrooms. Removing the mushrooms does not cure the tree, but if we can stop or interrupt mushroom activity, maybe the tree then will be able to wall off, create a compartmentalization wall, and defend against further mushroom activity. If we can be early in the infection, early in the invasion, many times we feel that we can make a difference and preserve heritage trees on site.